So look, 7 months have already passed this year, and despite your best intentions, you may not want to be where you are in life. Well, some of you, not all of you, of course. At the start of the year, you set out specific goals that you thought that you were going to achieve. But what really happened?
What happened? Your balls drop off?
I'm a huge Dark Knight fan. I had to throw that clip in there. But this book that I read, Principles by Ray Dalio, he's a billionaire hedge fund manager, and he sets out an amazing 5-step framework that you guys can follow to achieve your goals in the next 6 months. So let's break it down. So section 1 is all about creating clear and audacious goals. I like the word audacious. In this section, he's really trying to emphasize that we need to prioritize our goals. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this is something that I struggled with quite a few months ago because I always used to set goals that were able to play it safe. But what I really like in this section is that he emphasizes you can have virtually anything you want, but you can't have everything you want. Essentially, what he's trying to tell us is that you need to focus on what truly matters and be willing to sacrifice for your long-term success. So say, for example, your goal is to start making more money. Well, it makes sense to logically break down what exactly is money. Money is simply an exchange of value. So if you have value that you can provide to the marketplace, in exchange, you can have money in return. So it's about developing the skills that will bring up your value, your intrinsic value, provide that to the marketplace, and in exchange, you get money for that. So that was just one example, but for yourself, right, you need to actually write down your goal with clarity. The key word that Ray Dalio uses is writing down your goals with clarity. Why? Because from that, you'll be able to put it down into small actionable steps that you can actually visually see and implement into your life. Step number 2 is actually to identify and not avoid your problems. And what I like is that he opens with a beautiful statement to view painful problems as potential improvements that are screaming right at you. So basically what he's telling us to do is to face our problems heads on. So for myself, when I decided to start learning appointment setting and closing, I faced a shit ton of rejections. It was crazy. I faced a lot of rejections, but what I had to do was take a step back and identify what the actual problem was. And once I was able to do that, I then elevated my pitch, and I was much more resilient when it came to actually going out, searching for good roles and landing one. So whatever your big audacious goal that you set from now moving forward is, you need to write down a list of the problems that you are facing, right? And instead of avoiding them, you need to embrace them as a part of the journey. I know it sounds easier said than done, but doing that will give you more clarity on that goal, and at least when you get to look back, you get to see how you overcame those problems, and then you can go and teach other people how to overcome those same problems. Now, to apply this principle, you need to take time to actually identify what's holding you back from actually achieving your main goal. This could be something as simple as a communication issue, a skill gap, or most commonly, a personal challenge. Next, you need to write down and be specific about what the problem is that you're facing. And then the next thing is to then brainstorm possible solutions that you can implement into your life. I'm a huge advocate for actually finding and getting mentors because they've been through every single challenge that you're facing, or at least something similar with other people that they've helped. And what it can do is actually shorten the gap for the problems that you're facing in order to achieve your goal much quicker. So I would highly suggest finding a mentor and working with them. Remember that confronting problems directly is the first step to achieving your goal and actually overcoming the issue itself. Embrace this uncomfortable situation as a learning experience, and I promise you, when you look back, you'll be very proud of yourself that you actually took the first step to achieving that goal. The third step is to diagnose the problems and identify the root cause of what you're doing. What I like about this chapter is actually one of my favorite ones, is that he puts it simply, you guys need to figure out why things keep happening over and over again. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a cycle where the same problems just keep arising over and over again? It's because we haven't really identified the root cause of what actually is causing those issues in the first place. Think about a problem that keeps bugging you over and over again. This could be in your work life, or this could be in your personal life. Instead of rushing to fix it, I want you to take time. Take a step back and identifying what's really causing the issue. This could be a lack of a certain skill, or this could be just your overall communication to other people about what your problem actually is. So I want you to try and separate the immediate issues like missing a deadline to the actual root cause of the problem, which is your poor time management. Having this kind of clarity will at least give you a chance to identify what the root cause of your problem is and how you can go about dealing with it in a much better way. It may sound repetitive what I'm saying, but essentially you have to identify what the root causes are so that you can at least avoid making the same issues in the future and actually being much faster to your way to success. Number 4 is centered around designing your plan for success. In other words, mapping out your route to achieving the goals that you want by the end of 2024. This is something that I know everyone can do. Like I said, by starting out setting one audacious goal, identifying the problems that you're going to face along the way, and finding out what the root causes are and planning your route to success. This could be something as simple as breaking down that bigger goal into small chunkable sizes. There's that funny saying about like something, if you want to eat the elephant whole, you have to break it down into small chunkable sizes. This is the exact same concept. So what Ray Dalio suggests is that you need to plan out your actions by month so that you can see exactly what you should be doing each month to hit your targets and make sure that you're hitting that end goal by the end of the year. So I remember when I started the YouTube channel in January, damn, I look back now and like I had no clue what I was doing. I didn't know that you needed to take a lot of time for scripting, for editing, and for filming, and for actually having a location to film your videos. These are all things that I know now, and what I realized now is that I was creating way too much friction to actually get the work done. So now, in order to achieve my main goal at the end of the year, which is actually growing the channel, I need to create less friction. And by doing that, I need to have one home base where I could film all my videos. So that's my YouTube setup that I have now, and a clear plan for every single piece of content that I want to put out throughout the month. Doing something like this is planning my route to success, because I broke it down into small chunkable sizes. Getting a YouTube setup, getting a planning content for the rest of the month. That is exactly how I had that big audacious goal, and I broke it down into small chunkable sizes. So I want you guys to do the same thing. So think about your own goal. So I'll take fitness for example, because fitness is something that we can pretty much all relate to. If your goal is to actually start getting into shape, you need to identify what are the root causes for you not actually getting into shape. Number 1 that most people will always overlook is your diet. Your diet pretty much makes up 70% of the overall goal that you want to achieve with your fitness. So if you're eating terribly but training hard, it won't really make a difference. But if you're training hard and eating correctly, it'll be much easier to create that goal, and you've created less friction for yourself to actually fail at that goal. So for fitness, for example, I would even plan out having a gym split. So if you're training and doing weightlifting, having something as simple as push-pull legs is a great starting block. And then again, committing to the meals that you're going to eat in order to achieve that main goal. Something like that is breaking down that big audacious goal, getting into shape, into small actionable steps. So I want you to treat your plan like a detailed game plan. You need to know exactly what you're gonna do, when you're gonna do it, with who you're gonna do it. You need to know everything in exact detail. That is the only way you'll be able to at least have better clarity on what your goal is and how you can go about achieving it. Your 5th and final step is to execute the plan and learn from your mistakes. This is where rubber meets the road, as Ray Dalio puts it. He talks about the importance of persistence and actually learning from your outcomes. And what I like is that he actually says that great planners who don't execute their plans go nowhere. So in other words, you need self-discipline, and more than anything, you need feedback. Feedback is the one thing that you need in order to move forward and progress properly. So for myself, for example, when I started my YouTube channel, I had a big vision, but naturally, not every video landed as I hoped. Some videos got crickets instead of views, but instead of being frustrated about this, I took this as feedback, because at least then I was able to see which videos performed well and which videos didn't. And with doing that, I was able to tweak my content strategy, improve my production quality, and actually use it as a learning experience to create better videos and to create a better vision for this YouTube channel. So how can you guys apply this to your own lives? In all honesty, I would say accountability. You need someone who's actually gonna check up on you. So for myself, my girlfriend and my friends always reminded me about the goals that I set out for the YouTube channel and about being consistent. So just having that reminder, having a friend or even a family member who can remind you about the goals that you set out is a huge game changer. So you need an accountability partner. I need you to review your progress against your goals. So are you hitting your marks? Are you doing the things that you said that you're going to do? And remember, it's okay to get feedback. I personally hate feedback because I always feel like it highlights my areas of inadequacy, which is true, but I need that feedback to improve on my goals. So make sure that as you are refining your strategies, it's okay to change the strategy, but not the objective of whatever you set out at the beginning of the year, or in this case, halfway through the year for the rest of the year. So make sure that you review every single mark that you're hitting towards your goal. Why is it that you set out this goal at the start of the year? Is there a particular reason or something that you're fighting for, whether it's love or whether it's serving others? These are all things that you need to highlight on a piece of paper so that you can remind yourself every single day what it is that you're fighting for. There you have it, guys. Ray Dalio's 5-step process to getting anything that you want out of life, and more importantly, how you can achieve and change your life from now up until the end of the year. So again, that is setting out your clear, audacious goal, identifying the problems that you're going to face along the way, identifying the root cause of those problems, designing your path to success, and creating a game plan and actually executing on that and receiving feedback from that. So these are principles that I've applied to my life. They've worked from January up until this point, so I'm going to continue doing that from now up until the end of the year. I hope you guys apply these principles into your own life, and I highly suggest that you pick up this book. That was just a small section. There's way too much source in this book, and I really hope that you guys found that video helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share the video. Take care, guys.